I'm AussieDevFro, and I think I'm better at Pokemon than I really am. Now don't get me wrong, I've been playing Pokemon casually for 25 years. However, any challenge run I've ever attempted has ended up in a massive failure. What also doesn't help with this is my love for bug-type Pokemon. Not considered the strongest Pokemon type out there. However, that's why I think it's important to bring these bug Pokemon into the competitive scene. I'm going to bring my bugs, I'm going to bring my Fro, and I'm going to see if we can make some headway in Pokemon Champions. Alrighty everyone, welcome back to Hero to He-Fro. Hero to He-Fro? I mean Zero to He-Fro. We're not starting off as a hero, we're starting off at the bottom. And we might be staying at the bottom. Depends on how these matches go. I'm AussieDevFro and let's play some Pokemon Champions. So going straight into our first match, it's looking like a pretty interesting team. A team that I kind of think is like a hybrid between some of the meta teams that I've seen and something a little bit different with that Arcanine and the Empoleon. Ordino I've seen gaining a little bit of popularity, so it's not completely out of the blue, but the Dragonite and the Whimsicott, definitely stuff that I've seen before. We're just going to lead with our regular Scizor and Slowking with the Armarouge and the Garganacl as a backup. The Armarouge will be good to take care of the Whimsicott if need be, and the Garganacl will just be helpful. So our opponent is leading off with the Tyranitar and the Dragonite, and that's a pretty spooky combo. Spooky combo. Either could be the Mega, we don't know. Our side is also too nervous to eat berries, which is not great for our Slowking, but that's okay. We'll be alright. We'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be a-okay. Now, right now, I'm sort of like figuring out, do I want to just go straight in with the Mega Scizor? Do I want to swap into Garganacl to, you know, knock that Dragonite down with the Salt Cure? In the end, I decide just, you know, Mega, go for the Bullet Punch. The Tyranitar might protect, that's totally fine, but we're definitely going to use Trick Room on our Slowking. So Mega Scizor comes out looking as awesome as ever, and thankfully the Bullet Punch actually goes through. So the Tyranitar did not use Protect. We get about half health, 52%, so I'm pretty happy with that. Get some damage on, but the Dragonite uses Fire Spin. I'm like, oh gosh, that's not good. That's not good. We're trapped. Should have swapped that. No, it should have, would have, could have. The Tyranitar uses Stealth Rock, which, you know, interesting. I do like hazards. Not on my side, but I do like them. And our Slowking gets up Trick Room. So the speed ball is in our court, so to speak, but our Scizor is trapped by that Fire Spin and will go down next turn if the Dragonite uses Fire Spin again. So now we have a choice. What are we going to do here? Do we continue to attack into the Tyranitar and get it down low? Or do we try to knock out that Dragonite before it has the ability to knock out our Scizor? And I decide, you know what? Go for the Bug Bite. Let's see if we can pinch a berry off that Tyranitar. And obviously the Ice Beam from the Slowking coming out straight into the Dragonite. Maybe we get the freeze? We do not get the freeze. The Tyranitar comes out with an Iron Defense, which is not great for our team. We're very much a physical team, so that's not great for us. We use the Bug Bite, takes him down to 20%, so we do almost take him down, but he has no Citrus Berry for us. But even then, would be too unnerved to eat it, so I don't know what I was thinking really there. The Fire Spin comes out from the Dragonite, takes Scizor down to 7%, which unfortunately is going to get knocked out by that Fire Spin. So really clever. I didn't really expect the Fire Spin at all from the Dragonite, so that was really cool. I was very impressed. So I'm not really sure why, but I decided to send out the Armarouge here just because I figured, you know, maybe the Dragonite will keep using Fire Spin. I don't know. I honestly don't know why you sent out Armarouge. I think it was to get the Aura Sphere into the Tyranitar so we can continue Ice Beaming the Dragonite. But that Tyranitar could have any number of attacks that could take out our Armarouge. So this was a bit of a sketchy decision. Garganacl probably would have been the better pick here, more safer pick. But this is what I'm doing. So our opponent withdraws their Dragonite, knowing that the Ice Beam is coming in. They send out the Ordino. I'm like, okay, all right, that was fair. The Ice Beam, not going to do too much. Ordino being a nice little special sponge there. And the Tyranitar continuing its Iron Defense, which I thought was a little interesting considering I now have the Armarouge out. It's going to be a special attacker. It's going to take down the Tyranitar. And that's all she wrote. I'm not really sure if they were expecting a physical Armourouge. I'm not even sure if that's possible. Anyway, we get a bit of leftovers there just to heal up, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like we're in a good position. Their Dragonite is heavily damaged. The Audino is out, but they throw out the Arcanine. And I didn't really expect the Arcanine. I think they were really expecting the physical side of my team coming out, but right now, I've got my 2 special attackers. We have 2 more turns of Trick Room. See, I'm using the UI here to actually keep an eye on things, and I figure, you know what? Let's just go another Aura Sphere and take out that Audino. Maybe it'll do it, maybe it won't. But I decide, you know what, we'll also use the Slowking to attack into the Audino as well with the Sludge Bomb. If we get the poison, that's great. If not, all good. And we get that poison. So, you know, we'll take that. Combined with the Aura Sphere, that should take out the Audino. However, out comes the Light Screen, Audino being a very slow Pokemon. I've got to try and recognize what Pokemon are slow and what aren't. But that's okay. So we get the Aura Sphere off. It doesn't quite do enough damage, but 2 ticks of poison will take them down. The Arcanine does come out with Psychic Fangs, which I think hits through Reflect and Light Screen, which is really clever by them for other teams. The poison does get the Audino down to 1%, so we almost take it out. We're just a little bit shy. So I figure, you know what? I can just leave the Audino there. They'll be alright. They'll be fine. This is a mistake. I should be attacking the Audino. The Audino needs to go down. That Slowking is faster. We should have done that. Instead, I decide to swap out the Slowking into the Garganacl and then have the Armourouge attack into the Arcanine. You're going to see why this is a mistake in a second, but that's okay. A Garganacl comes out. We're getting ready to salt that Arcanine's butt. But the Audino uses Healing Wish, which is not good. Left on 1% health, takes itself down in order to heal the Dragonite coming in. Why did I do it? Armourouge gets off a Psychic into the Arcanine, does a little bit of damage. Psychic Fangs comes through, does a little bit of damage to our Garganacl. So all around, not too much damage on the field. But as I mentioned earlier, that Dragonite's going to come in on the Healing Wish. And I'm going to wish that that Audino didn't get off that Healing Wish. Because here, look what happens here. Look what happens here. All of our hard work, gone. Oh, well, that's fine, that's fine. Anyway, so I'm just going to continue with the Armourouge here. I probably should have gone for like a Psychic or something. I kind of linger. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, we used the Ice Punch on the Garganacl just to sort of like really knock down that Dragonite. I don't think they're expecting the Ice Punch. Arcanine comes out with the Thunder Fang. So interesting. Very, very bitey opponent there. The Hydro Pump from the Dragonite cannot take out our Armourouge. He is defensive as nothing else. That special defense coming in clutch. We get the Psychic off the Dragonite, just chipping it just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, for Ice Punch to come in and almost take him out. I bet you he was not expecting that at all. So I decide here that maybe Armourouge has had enough now, and we're going to swap him out for our Slowking. And I figure maybe we could get a little cheeky here and go for a cheeky little curse. You know, just get that little bit more damage out on the Garganacl. Or I could just take down the Dragonite. That's pretty much my 2 things. I'm worried about a Protect on the Dragonite though, so I think I'm going to go Curse. That Arcanine's not doing anything, and if that Dragonite does Hydro Pump into the Garganacl, I get a Secret Weapon. Now the Extreme Speed comes out from the Arcanine, hitting our Slowking. Doesn't do too much, which is totally fine. And the Dragonite uses Rest. Oh my gosh, the Dragonite's been healed again. The Dragonite heals itself again. Because of course, it has a Lumberry. That Bug Bite I did all that time ago, should have done it on the Dragonite. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we get our Curse on, which honestly puts us in a really good position. We hit harder, and we're going to tank those hits from the Arcanine. Now, the Trick Room is gone, so I do need to get that back up if I want to go first. And I decide, you know what? We're definitely going to go for that. We're going to get that Ice Punch on the Dragonite. Is a single Curse going to be enough? I don't think so. So I swap back, use the Salt Cure on the Arcanine, thinking maybe we can take it down before it can continue its shenanigans on the Slowking. So the Arcanine does come out with the Psychic Fangs onto the Garganacl. I'm not entirely sure what they were trying to do here. The Hydro Pump does come out from the Dragonite, but our Pasho Berry limits the damage from that, doing absolutely nothing. We baited him with the berry. It was super effective, as in the baiting of the berry, not the actual attack. The attack did nothing. Salt Cure comes out, knocks out that Arcanine. They should have doubled into the Slowking, because we all know what's about to happen. It's a Trick Room. Trick Room comes out. It means Garganackle is going to go first, or at least before the Dragonite on the next turn, and the light screen wears off. We have an Ice Beam and an Ice Punch locked and loaded. That Dragonite has no idea what's about to hit it. Actually, I think it knows exactly what's about to hit it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of ice. Ice Punch comes through, deals 55%, takes him down to 45%. Ice Beam comes out second. That Light Scream isn't there to protect you anymore. And that's game. So we continue our winning streak here with the Trick Room team. I don't know how much of this is luck versus actual skill, but I think this one had a little bit of skill to it. Aside from losing, we lost our Mega on the first turn, essentially. That Fire Spin knocked him out straight away. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Going into the second match of the day, though, we have another very interesting team here, filled with mons that I don't normally see. The Mr. Rime, the Alolan Raichu, Drampa. There's some interesting ones here. I'm keen. This battle's gonna be fun. In terms of what we bring, Slowking has to come out on the first round. There's no doubt about that. And I'm sort of looking at this going, do we want the Sizzle out there? Incineroar is there. Incineroar is very dangerous. So I'm a little concerned of what we need to do there. And this is where a lot of umming and ahhing comes into play. I sort of settle, like, I wanted the Armor Rouge, because Armor Rouge can be useful against the, well, to tank an attack from the Incineroar if need be. Also good for the Mr. Rime, having the Armor Cannon there. And in the end, I decided to bring Araquanid as well. We're going to keep our standard lineup, Sizzle and Slowking to start off with. So our opponent starts off with Drampa and Raichu. I'm like, okay, cool, this is a fun combo. I'm all in on this. Now, I'm aware the Drampa can do some interesting stuff with weather, so I'm just sort of a little concerned about that. Maybe a Thunder might be coming from the Raichu. Regardless, though, we're going to Mega Evolve. We're going to get that Bug Bite out. The Raichu is part Psychic, so I figure, you know what? Why not just send it straight in? And of course, we're going to hit that Trick Room button for the Slowking. We get our Mega Sizzle on the field. Hopefully he's going to be able to hang around a bit longer this time. And between you and me, I think he is. Now, our opponent does use their Mega this time. We get the Mega Drampa, which is cool. I haven't seen this one for, well, in person really ever. So, Mega Drampa, looking really neat. The Raichu uses Thunderbolt on the Mega Sizzle. It doesn't really do too much. Does about a third damage. Our Bug Bite comes through, knocks it out. It's gone. It ain't coming back. It's gone to the Shadow Realm. There ain't no waves here. Surf is definitely not up. We also eat its Lumberry, which is kind of neat. Maybe it had rest, I'm not entirely sure. The Drampa uses Hyper Voice. I'm not really sure what it was intending to do here. Maybe just get some chip damage on the Scizor. Maybe try to damage the Slowking. But the Trick Room does come out. And, yeah, that's going to work for us. Because now we got 2 versus the Drampa on the field. I'm feeling alright. 1 down, 3 to go. The opponent sends out Incineroar now, which gets the Intimidate off. So Scizor is a little dampened now, under half health. It's been intimidated. So there's really only one logical choice here. We need to bring in Armor Rouge. If a Flare Blitz comes through, we don't want to tank that, but we definitely want to send out an Ice Beam onto that Drampa. It's going to be the most effective thing we've got. So Armor Rouge comes out, hoping to soak up a fire attack. Slowking does use his Ice Beam first, though, thanks to the Trick Room. It does a decent chunk to the Drampa. But unfortunately, I do forget that Drampa's pretty slow. So the Dragon Pulse comes out, gets the Slowking down to 33%, and we do eat our Citrus Berry. That brings us back to almost half. But I forget that Incineroar is a Dark type. Darkest Lariat comes out. It is super effective on Armor Rouge, and I should note it is going to be quite effective on our Slowking as well. So I think they knew that I was going to send in Armor Rouge. They predicted that pretty well, so a little unfortunate there. Anyway, on to the next round. Armor Rouge is going to use Aura Sphere into the Drampa. Slowking's an Ice Beam. I feel like with the Incineroar, I've got the Araquanid in the back. I can pretty confidently bring something in and take that out. So I'm going to focus on the Drampa right now. Ice Beam comes through, gets down to 4%. These ranges are not helping me at all. The Dramper's Berserk does go off, so it gets a special attack boost, which is not great, considering the Dragon Pulse in retaliation knocks out our Slowking. So this is the one Trick Room we're getting off today. There ain't nothing else. The Earthquake comes through from the Incineroar, knocks out both its own Dramper and our Armarouge, so a very interesting play there. I think it was more like, well, the Dramper's going down anyway, so I may as well just use the Earthquake to guarantee the knockout on both of my Slowking and the Armarouge, which is fair. It puts us in a pretty even spot now, 2 Mons each. The only downside with that is his Mons are at full health and my Scizor is a little bit damaged, just a little bit. Now, they sent out the Garganackle, which I think was a good play, considering I have bugs on my team, but they don't know about my second secret weapon on the Araquanid, which is the berry that resists rock type attacks that I will know the name of when it procs. So with Scizor, I decided to go for the Bug Bite on the Incineroar, just sort of knock it down, and we just straight liquidation into the Incineroar. I want that thing gone. The Salt Cure comes out from the Garganackle, the Charty Berry activates on the Araquanid, and that's 2 for 2. We got 2 opponents with our berries. I'm so happy with that. Now, Salt Cure wouldn't have done a massive amount of damage, but it still felt pretty good. The Liquidation comes through on the Incineroar, knocks it out in one shot. Araquanid being just so strong. I think people really underestimate that spider. It's so good. Scizor uses Bug Bite on the Garganackle. It's not going to do too much damage, but we'll take it. We'll take it. So obviously with our Scizor, a Bullet Punch straight into the Garganackle is going to be what we want. And I just think, you know what? If they just want to go for another Salt Cure on the Araquanid, I'm just going to use Protect. We'll just be a cheeky little spider and Protect, because the longer we're here, the more I'll get out of this battle, honestly. I kind of want it to be a clean sweep. So yeah, let's go. Scizor, Bullet Punch, knocks out the Garganackle. We didn't even get to see what it was going to do. It's gone. And that's another win for the Trick Room team. I'm having a great time with this team. It's so much fun. As someone who's never used Trick Room before, this is a good time. I do think the meta is starting to shift to a more balanced, slow and fast sort of meta, so I think Trick Room's going to lose its effectiveness as we climb the ranks. But for now, we're doing so well. Let's see if we can get onto Great Ball tier with our next match. Alrighty, on to match number 3, and I'm already seeing things I don't like here. There's an Archaladon. There's a Scovillain, which I should be more worried about than I am. And the Basculegion there, of course, the Pelipper. There's so many things on this team that I'm just not excited to see. And you can see it in my picking of the Pokemon. I hesitated. I'm like, oh, do I really want to send Scizor out? I definitely want the Belly Bolt. I know that for a fact. We need some electricity here. I just don't know. Archaladon is so scary. I don't really know how to deal with them, unfortunately. Anyway, Scizor and Slowking are going to be our lead. Our opponent is leading off, though, with the Scovillain and the Dragonite, and I'm like, okay, this is not what I expected. I was expecting Pelipper Archaladon, so yay? I think. Anyway, so with Scizor, I'm going to Mega. Now, I know Scovillain, I don't know whether it gets it when it Mega Evolves or whether it gets it before it Mega Evolves, but if you attack it, it burns you. So we really want to be careful about that. So in the end, I go for a dual Wing Beat into the Dragonite, because I'm just a little cautious of that Scovillain right now. I can't remember whether it's just physical attacks, whether it's special attacks, and this is all knowledge I'll get as I play the game. But for now, I'm just going to let that thing do whatever it wants to do and attack into the Dragonite. Now, it does Mega, so okay, we're dealing with a Mega Scovillain, which looks kind of cool. I do like it. I do wonder what it's going to do, though. Is it just there as a distraction? It's not the strongest Pokemon, so I'm not too concerned right now. Mega Scizor is going to, Mega Evolve, but then we're going to get hit by a Draco Meteor. We don't go first. It goes straight into the Slowking, which is not... It deals almost half health, but now the special attack on the Dragonite is heavily diminished. The Scovillain, though, has Overheat. And I don't know why in my brain I didn't attribute fire Pokemon with fire attack, but this is possibly the worst mistake. We've done 3 battles episode, and on 2 of them, the Mega Sizzle has been taken out in 1 shot. The whole point of Armarouge is to absorb those attacks. Why didn't I swap it in? Oh dear. Anyway, so we have an interesting position here. We lost a Pokemon, but both Dragonite and Scovillain have decreased special attack stats, which honestly is not a bad position for us. They can no longer touch us. In terms of damage, we have the lead now. So I just, you know what, I decide send out Bellibolt. He can tank some attacks, he can rest up. We're just going to use Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, and we'll try to take out this Dragonite. Honestly, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to be the play. So the Slowking does go first with Ice Beam, deals a massive chunk to that Dragonite, takes it down to 40% health. And I'm looking at the Bellibolt going, come on, man. You can do it. You can do it. So close! 1%! It can't do it. But that's alright. The Leech Seed comes out from the Scovillain, and I'm like, okay. The Dragonite does have a Thunderbolt of its own, does borderline nothing to the Slowking. In fact, all it does is heal us because we get the Citrus Berry afterwards, which then gets taken by the Scovillain with Leech Seed. But, you know, that's fair. Overall, we did massive damage on that Dragonite. It can't do too much more now, so I'm not too worried about that. We can take that out whenever we want. In fact, we're going to take it out now with another Thunderbolt. And I'm just going to Sludge Bomb that Scovillain. Let's just get our Sludge on, I suppose. So our opponent was thinking for a long time there, but they did decide to withdraw their Dragonite and bring in the Archelodon, which is fine, totally fine. The Scovillain does use Rage Powder, I believe trying to bait attacks into it, so I'm thinking, that's fine, I was already in on that. So Sludge Bomb comes through, almost knocks out the Scovillain, almost. We do get the poison though, that Sludge Bomb, I love how much it poisons. It's like a 30% chance, it's great. The Spicy Spray does activate though, so we do get the burn on Slowking. I'm not too concerned. We have Regenerator, not an issue. We Thunderbolt the Scovillain. Doesn't quite take it out, but the poison will do the rest for us, hopefully. The Bellibolt does get burned as well, but we do have that Lumberry, designed for us when we use Rest, but that's also why we have Sleep Talk, so I'm not too concerned about that. The Leech Seed does come through first. I was hoping the burn would happen first, but Leech Seed works. Brings the Scovillain up to 15% health. The poison brings it down to 2%, so it doesn't quite knock it out. We're going to have to attack that thing again, which I'm a little upset about. I'm not too thrilled to see that, but it is what it is. We still have 2 more turns of Trick Room, so we're still going to go first, but we're going to deal with this Archelodon. I'm concerned about the Archelodon. Not entirely sure how I can take it out from this position. In the end, I think I just decide to go for a Thunderbolt, and then I'm going to swap the Slowking out for the Armarouge. We're going to get our Aura Sphere out here, and hopefully deal some damage to the Archelodon. The Scovillain goes for Protect, trying to block an attack that was going to knock it out. However, considering it doesn't get the Leech Seed anymore, the poison's going to do the job for us. We do get a little tiny bit of chip damage on the Archelodon, which does use Dragon Pulse into our Armarouge. It does a hefty chunk of damage. Definitely being focused in special attack there. Because, I mean, which Archelodon isn't these days? Leftovers go off on both sides, noting that it is on the Archelodon, so that's going to be a little dangerous there. Scovillain gets knocked out by poison, which is great for us. And, yeah, we're relatively even. Aside from us losing our Mega, we're relatively even. Pelipper comes out. And this is a nightmare scenario. This is like turn 1 on every other meta match. Archelodon, Pelipper, Drizzle. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. So I think here, we could just Thunderbolt into the Pelipper. They'll take it out, and Aura Sphere into the Archelodon. Either way, we're going to get massive damage. But what if the Pelipper protects? So in the end, I decide, let's just double into the Archelodon. The Archelodon is not going to miss a chance to knock out that Armarouge with an Electro Shot. That's what's going to happen here. The Pelipper does use Protect, and I'm like, oh, I predicted it so beautifully. Bellibolt uses Thunderbolt, does a little bit more chip on the Archelodon. Is it enough to allow Aura Sphere to take it out? I don't know. It is. I don't know whether we needed the extra damage, but there was a crit. It was a crit. I think we had it regardless thanks to that crit. But honestly, I was thrilled seeing that. I'm like, let's go. The crit was great, but the prediction on the Protect meant that the Archelodon was going to get taken out either this turn or the next turn regardless. We had the Slowking in the back. It was not an issue. Our opponent forfeits. That's, I think, 5 wins in a row, I believe. The Trick Room team is on absolute fire. But that's not all that happens. We make it to Great Ball tier. I'm flabbergasted. I did not think I'd be able to win enough battles to even make it here. So that's really awesome. And I'm glad you guys were here to see it too. So we're not quite a He-Fro just yet. Now, there is going to be a cutscene here. I'm not too concerned about the story of this game. I'm here to prove a point to myself, and that point is that I can bring bugs into the competitive scene, have a good time, and still have some success. And already I'm seeing that, we can have a bit of success with bugs. You just gotta, build a decent team around it. And when I say decent team, I mean a fairly, diverse. Diverse is the word I was looking for. A diverse team around the bugs. And I think anything's possible. And it just goes to show you can be a casual player and enjoy Pokemon Champions as well. Anyway, we're going to keep doing battles. I'm not going to finish up here because we only made it to Great Ball rank. I really want to see if I can hit Ultra Ball rank. I think if I can hit Ultra Ball rank, I'm going to feel really good about my efforts. That's pretty much where it's going to be. And then after we reach Ultra Ball, we'll see where we go from there. Not too concerned about hitting Master Ball. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you do hit that like button. Comment below what Pokemon you would like to see on my teams next. And yeah, as always, have a wonderful day. I'll see you when I see you.